Well, hello, it's Torture Myself o'clock. So for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is DearAbbyHansen, and I was an asshole in high school. I am ashamed to admit it, I was one of the mean girls in high school. Okay, I did some things I am not proud of. I am ashamed of the human being I was in my high school years, and if you knew me during my high school years, no you didn't, okay? That person did not exist. In the years from 2014 to 2018, that wasn't a thing, no. But I am stalling the inevitable, so let's just get down to business. So I went to an extremely religious private high school growing up, and one of my favorite things to do while at that high school was to, poke fun at religion. I think that even if you are religious, you should poke fun at your beliefs. I think you should poke fun at your beliefs, whether political, social, anything like that. And I mean, yeah, like, look at me. I poke fun at myself all the time, and I'm fine. So in this private religious high school, we had twice-a-week Bible classes. And one of the assignments that I was given in this Bible class was write the story of creation through God's perspective. So I took one look at Microsoft Word and I'm like, okay, let's get me expelled. So because I feel like torturing myself for internet views, I am going to read through this story for the first time in 4 years. This will be fun. So grab a drink, you'll need it, and let's get into the cringe. Alright, so I have it here on my screen, so let's get into it. I keep stalling. Okay, just do it! Okay. The Story of Creation by DearAbbyHansen. In the beginning. No, let's go back further. Before the beginning, God looked out into the great nothingness that would soon become his own game of The Sims and thought, I'm bored. Jesus then appeared before his father and, seeing the familiar look in his eyes, said, "What are you planning now?" A good start. We're off to a good start here. All right. "I want to do something new and different," he replied thoughtfully. "Are you planning on hiring new angels? Because remember the last time you did that? I tried telling you I thought that dude Lucifer was sketchy, but did you listen?" Oh my gosh. Okay. This next part. Okay, so I wrote this specifically just so I could get away with saying Jesus Christ in front of my entire religious class. So I wrote it as his name, Jesus Christ, but then with the comma. So it's like when you're addressing someone with their name, it's like, okay, you get it. You get the joke. Jesus Christ, I've said I'm sorry like 1,000,000 times already. Then a thought came into the Lord's head. "My son, do you like stories?" Jesus stuttered. "I guess, but what does that have to do with you being bored?" God put his arm around his son's shoulder. "My only child, I am going to create a story. A true story, so I don't offend the non-conspiracy theorists who will read this. It will be a story of love, anger, rejoice, and sadness, like Days of Our Lives, but with Trump. And you and I will be the heroes of this story." How did I not get expelled? Jesus looked up at his father and said, "We will need the Holy Spirit's help." Nah, let's leave him out of this for now. We'll have to cheat a little, but hey, if a bunch of 11th grade students could cheat on math quizzes and get away with it, we can get away with this. "What are you talking about?" Jesus began. "What are we talking about?" Okay, so in my 11th grade math class, about halfway through the term, the teacher found out that more than 75% of the class was cheating on the weekly quizzes. And instead of, finding each student that cheated and punishing them, they just decided not to punish them at all. Because if you punished the whole class, then that would be unfair to the people who didn't cheat, so that is the story of how my entire 11th grade class got away with cheating. But that is besides the point. Let's continue. "Shut up, my child, I'm thinking," he responded. Yes, I will create a beautiful world with valleys, rivers, and oceans, mountains, and mega churches. But who will take care of this world? Jesus queried. God looked up into space, literally, and responded, I will create more children. They will be like angels, but without wings and inherently stupid. But then they'll be sure to mess something up, Jesus responded. What will you do when their actions cannot be atoned for? God pondered another minute. I will send you down in their form, and you will sacrifice yourself for them. That's perfect. What? I never agreed to that, Jesus cried. I've heard about only children getting all the attention, but this crosses the line. But God was not listening. They will all prove that you don't have to be a me-like creature to be great. They will all be kind and not bully one another. And when I test their patience by sending hurricanes, they will open the doors of said megachurches before anyone has to ask them. This was like a direct attack against Joel Osteen. This was right when those Texas floods were happening, and yeah, okay. When they have a horrible person who goes against everything I stand for running for office, they won't vote for him. Children won't be murdered, and when I send the homosexuals to help with population control, that won't backfire at all. Okay, alright, I need to chill. It's probably not that funny and I'm just laughing at myself, but you know what? That's okay, that's content. Jesus was still freaking out over the holy hit he had on his head now and said sarcastically, let me guess, you'll start out with only 2 of this species so they'll have to inbreed to grow the population for such a massive expanse? My son, that's a great idea, God cried. We need to make it a test to see who is and isn't loyal to me, so I'll provide evidence for many other religions and non-religions. What if they come up with their own ideas? Like, if someone decided one day that this so-called Earth wasn't flat? God looked at him. Jesus, no one in heaven or on earth is that stupid. If the flat earthers find this, I'm gonna be murdered. Okay, now here's the spitting finale to all of this. You can't do this, Jesus cried. Well, it's too late now, God responded. Jesus looked confused. But you haven't even started. God looked over his son's shoulder and said, Look out! Lucifer's back! Jesus turned around, and while he was distracted, God looked out into the great never-ending darkness and said, Let there be light! The end! So that was a thing that just happened. I will be putting this on the internet for the whole world to see. I'm actually genuinely surprised I got a 75% on this assignment. The notes from the teacher were like, you know, this is blasphemous and blatantly disrespectful, but you're a really fantastic writer. That's also the story of the first time anyone ever told me I'm a good writer. So thanks 12th grade English teacher, who I'm not going to name because the internet's a dark and cruel place that will hunt you down for sport. So for a couple years after I graduated, I actually wanted to try to animate this. I had dabbled in stop motion animation with like cardboard and pieces of foam, and I kind of wanted to give myself a massive project to work on, but it never happened. So who knows, I might try it again someday, but for now, you're just gonna have to live with me laughing at my own stupidity. So, yeah, that's the video. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Don't come back.